Hello, my beautiful Coven. How are you? How are you today? What are you doing today? Let me tell you, my days have been wild, crazy, insane. I wasn't even sure if I would get this podcast out, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna drop late. I am in the middle of a move. I'm moving, which is wonderful and fun and also stressful and exhausting. And while I was moving, a few things happened, and I thought, well, this would make kind of a great episode, maybe. So that's what today's episode is going to be about. It's really unscripted too, my love, so please bear with me. Okay, I do have some housekeeping. The love letter, your monthly love letter from me, did not go out this month. I didn't even write it. I totally did not even write it. I was also supposed to put out promotional stuff around this new class I have. I don't know. Everything's so insane. Okay. All right. So this episode, my love, is all about energy, like energetic imprints, if that makes any sense to you. You see, I have been cleaning and scrubbing because we moved into a place where we need to do a little bit of tidying and cleaning. So, energy leaves an impression, right? And that's what I wanted to talk to you about, like the places we live and the places we work and the places we move through, like they have an energetic imprint on them. I know that many of you in the Earbud Coven are sensitive to energy, right? You are on this metaphysical path. You are on this beautiful witchy path. Maybe you're a reader, a healer, an empath. I'm not sure how you identify, but I know you probably pick up on other people's energy, the energy in a room. The way I think about it is, when you are at a carnival or a festival or something amazing, there's like this spark in the energy. There's this spark being at a live event. And that's because that's the energy of everyone there in their enjoyment. Like the energy can be effervescent and bubbling and wonderful. At least that's how I find it as a little extrovert in those spaces. Some people find that kind of energy really exhausting, and I totally get that too. So if you just picture like an outdoor concert, like a festival, with food court and a beer garden, a bunch of people selling their crafts and everything, and all that energy. It's such a great, reviving, rejuvenating, effervescent thing to be at. That's because we have all that collective energy of all the people like bouncing off each other and everyone's enjoyment and laughter and excitement and happiness kind of coming together. So we know what that feels like, right? So the place I moved into is kind of the opposite. So it had a lot of residual anger and resentment, and it had in one room real feelings of repressed sadness, kind of like depression and that inside outness of it all. So as a witch, I did ritual, right? I cleaned that out because I don't want my family to have that residual energy seep into our lives and seep into our stuff. Just as we can have that amazing energy at an outdoor festival, we can also have the opposite style of energy if we're in a space where there's a lot of anger, where there's a lot of conflict, where there's a lot of traumatic things happening. And that energy, especially in a contained place like a home or a bedroom, kind of sticks to the things. The effect that energy has on a structure or a space is not permanent. We want to always remember that when we're walking in the world as a witch, and looking at the world through that energetic lens where everything is multi-dimensional and multifaceted. There's the physical, there's the emotional, there's the energetic, and they're always going on at the same time. We have these layers upon layers of things. So inside this space, we have the actual physical space, and then we have the energetic residue. When we clean and when we clear things, everything is happening on this multi-dimensional plane, right? Like the idea even of spring cleaning, where we open up the windows and we dust everything and we move things around and we get all the cobwebs out and everything. Like that style of deep clean that we all really feel almost pulled to do in the spring, the season of renewal. We often feel pulled to do that if we're people who live in flow and rhythm, because it's a natural time to cleanse. So when we're sweeping our floors, we're actually moving energy. We're actually clearing. Like the act of dusting and wiping, you're clearing on an energetic level as well as a physical level every time you clean and straighten and tidy. Because the metaphysical world and the mundane world are not compartmentalized. They're woven together and they flow together, and they're always interchanging and moving and flowing and affecting each other. That's why magic works, right? That's why we can shift our emotions, and that shifts our actual life. That's why when we do things with intention, we get a response from the physical world. So let me tell you a little bit about my week. So doing the physical clean of the house, and I did an energetic clean as well, right? I did ritual. I chose to do some simmering and smoking rituals and clearing and using both sound to clear and burning and smoking to clear, as well as the deep cleaning I was doing. And I was like cleaning with intention. Like I would wipe, and I had my ancestors. I could feel my ancestors in the room. I come from a long line of farm women. They like to clean. Anyway, this one area of the house, I had been like doing some deep cleans, and I got to a different area and I was like, okay, this is going to be no problem. I'm just going to like wash these walls. It's a bit less labor intensive than some of the stuff I was doing. The walls looked clean, like they weren't super smudgy. There was one area that looked a bit handprinty or whatever. The blackness that came out of these walls, I am not even kidding you. It felt like I was removing depression from the house when I was washing it. And I know that sounds a little far-fetched, but I had to dump my bucket on this wall that didn't even appear dirty 5 times because of the amount of just, I don't know, stuff coming off of this wall. It was really surprising to me. I didn't expect it. There were other pockets of the house that felt very, very thick with energy that needed more work than others metaphysically. But this one, it was just really shocking. And it's why I thought of doing this episode with you guys. I was just in awe of it all. So let's kind of break it down. How do we clear? What do we do to clear? And tell me, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a regular way of clearing your space? I do. I regularly clear any place that I live in, and I do it when I'm cleaning. I will spray like a Florida water or a magical water. A lot of them I get from Beau Magique. I've had Reverend Terry on the podcast. Her stuff is amazing. You spray her energy products, or Sheila Radchester from Rad Crystals, you spray her stuff on your broom or on your dusting cloth, and you are doing a huge amount of work, because those women have put so much good juju and good, yummy, delicious energy in their products that you don't even have to do the work, right? So you just like spray it on your cloth, wipe down your counters, wipe your stuff. So I kind of have a little regime that I do with energetic clearing of my space. And some of the training I've received goes pretty deep into this topic. I've studied a lot on personal energy clearing and personal energy cleansing and hygiene of your aura and hygiene of your basic energy system, how to stay grounded and how to stay clear of the influence of other energies coming into your space. So we can take a lot of the ideas of how we ground and clear our own personal energy, and we can apply that to our homes and to our rooms and to our cars. Our cars, we're in them a lot if we commute. So we want to kind of think of them. Anyway, I like to think of them. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I like to think of my car as an extension of my home, and I like to keep it clear. I've got crystals in my car. And if you think about it, our cars often have a lot more of our own residual energy in them than other places because traffic and the emotion of when you leave your work and you're coming home and just that decompressing time, a lot of that happens in our car, right? Our cars are places that we want to think about. What is the energy field like in our car? What could we do for ourselves so that our commute is better and that our time in our car is more effective? So I have a lot of crystals in my car. I intentionally do things in my car to help make my commute more restorative, I think is the right word. All these little things we do really add up and really matter. You know, we don't have to have a big, huge, expansive, exhaustive routine in order to have a good, healthy, hygienic energy routine.
Hey Coven, it's me again. I didn't finish recording the episode the other day, and I'm finishing it off without my regular equipment. So it's going to sound different, and I do apologize for that. We were talking about energy inside our spaces, our cars, clearing energy, the energy in our homes. And I think the best way to continue this conversation is for me to tell you some of the ways that you can clear your spaces and build a practice of energetic hygiene in your home, your car, even like your desk or where you work, depending on what that looks like for you. So, one of the best ways I find to clear and shift energy, like I've said before, is just the actual physical act of cleaning it with intention. So, using an aura spray, using a Florida spray, spraying that on your desk cloth, and just with intention, wiping a surface. Now, a pro tip that people don't think about is if we are clearing energy from a space, we want to open a window, right? If we're using any kind of intention to clear energy and we're doing it in a tightly sealed box, that energy can't get out. So, my love, please crack a window, crack your door. One of my favorite things is when I'm sweeping, is I sweep and I do the regular mundane sweeping and get my little dustpan out and deal with that. And then I kind of sweep and I sweep out the door with a little incantation about cleansing and clearing and sweeping away. And we don't have to think about sweeping away or clearing away bad stuff. We're not getting rid of demons here. We are clearing out the residual energy, the imprint that our emotions leave. And if you have children in your house, cleaning energetically is so important because they are such beautiful balls of energy. They are in the moment, in their fields all the time, whether they're teenagers or Toddlers, they're in the moment, and their emotions are typically bigger than what their body can hold. So it's good to have a routine. I like to pick a day of the week, and that's just my energy clearing day. I like simmer pots. I've been using them because they're less smoky than burning incense or other herbs and doing a smoking ritual. I find that a simmer pot is great. When I'm building a simmer pot, I just take a regular pot. I don't have a ritual pot. Those of you who know me know that my witchcraft life has bled into my mundane life and nothing is compartmentalized anymore. I just use the stuff I have. So I take a little pot, I put some water in it, and then I go to my stash of herbs and cool stuff that I have. I've got quite a bit from when I used to make soap. So I'll maybe choose essential oils, maybe I'll choose botanicals, and I will choose whatever I want based on what I want to produce. So it really does feel very spell casting. Can't give you a recipe here right now because, like I said, I'm not in my regular environment. I not even have my microphone. So maybe I'll put one in the show notes for you. That's what I'll do. When I post this, I'll put one in the show notes for you, a simple simmer pot that will be for abundance or love or just goodness. So you pick your herbs based on what you want in the space. It's all up to you. These are so adaptable. So I would physically clean my house first and then build the simmer pot, right? And in the simmer pot, because what I want to do is I want to replace the energy that we've cleared with an intentional mood or an intentional vibe. So the simmer pot would work beautifully for that. Another wonderful way to clear a space that people don't realize is how purifying and beautiful sound wave is. Sound waves clear a space. We see this in religions all over the world. There's bells or different chimes that are used. There's chimes used in meditation. We have Tibetan singing bowls, and those can be used to clear. I find them really effective. The one I use in my personal practice, my daughter actually brought me back from one of her trips, and I absolutely love it. It's really, really tiny, and it has a very, very bright sound. The whole thing is that sound reverberates, right? It moves through the molecules in the air that we can't see. So it's quite magical the way that sound moves. And so sound can really clear, and sound can really change our personal energetic vibration because it's already vibrating, my love. The vibration can be raised by sound waves, by tone, right? We know how much sound affects us and how much sound can uplift us. And a very, very simple way to change the vibration and the energy vibe in a space is to sing in it. You don't have to use fancy things. You don't have to make magic complicated. You are born magical, my love. You have the power of change and of manifestation in you. And one of the most powerful things you can use is your voice. So to clear, you can sing. I honestly think that singing in my car is one of the things that keeps it clear. It keeps the vibration in my car and the energy feel of my car very good. I love long drives where I sing a lot. Songs that just make me happy. And if you know me, the songs that make me happy are the saddest songs in the world. Like I listen to the most mournful, sad songs, and it just fills me with so much joy. So sound, you can clear with sound. So simmer pots, sound. What else can we talk about? I think we're going to talk about smudging. The idea of smudging holds with it connotations of appropriation, of cultural appropriation. So The First Nations teacher that taught me really believes that everyone needs to smudge, that it is a gift to all nations. This is her view, and that's how she taught me. She encourages people, if you are going to be smudging with sage, to buy indigenous sage. Buy it from indigenous people. Put the money back into the culture that you are getting this practice from. I call it smudging when I'm using sage. I call it smoking when I'm using other herbs. I've done some research into my Celtic background. They have rituals as well around smoking. I mean, guys, even the Catholics burn frankincense and myrrh. Smoking and using incense is not specific to just one culture. What I encourage you to do is look at your culture. What are the plants that are associated with your culture? My recipe for smudging and smoking I can give to you off the top of my head because I know it. I do start with a base of indigenously sourced sage, or I will harvest wild sage from a few places I know that it grows in my BC area. It's not buffalo sage, but it is a sage, and I find it really effective. I like to add lavender beads to that, and I like to add ethically sourced cedar. I love the smell of it. I mix that together. That's what I use to clear with smoke. Occasionally, I will add flower petals from altar flowers, but that's usually if I'm going to be clearing a space before ritual, just to give it that ritual vibe. So, yeah, that's what we have, my love. We've got simmer pots, sound, physical cleaning, smoking. Let's take care of our spaces. Let's intentionally have the most beautifully cleansed places this spring. It is spring. It is naturally that time that we are going to be doing that deep spring cleaning. So add a little bit of magic to what you're doing. It doesn't have to be complicated. Never does it have to be complicated. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologize, guys, again for how crazy this episode is in the last couple episodes. I'm hoping to be settled soon and back into routine. I didn't want to miss posting for you, so yeah. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you.
Now, we know this, being sensitives, psychics, empathetics, whatever you want to call us. Maybe we can say that better, Jody. Where does that come from? And no, don't say that. An outdoor concert festival with a bump